This past Saturday, April 15th, saw the return to the ring of one Michaela Mayer, who is a fighter on a mission after dropping her last fight's decision against Alicia Baumgardner. It took place in October of 2022. So she was looking to not only step up in weight, but step up in class to put herself in position to challenge for another title. And so on the undercard of Joe Joyce versus Zili Zhang, the Big Bang, she took on Lucy Wildheart in a 10-round fight that had a change because of the original opponent not being able to go through with the original scheduled bout. So we'll talk about, in this video, the return to the ring for Michaela and what may be next for Michaela on the horizon. So let's talk about it. Michaela Mayer, former junior lightweight champion, has now moved up to the lightweight division with aspirations toward a championship opportunity. And we know Undisputed is held down by Katie Taylor. But leading up to a fight against Katie Taylor, she was originally scheduled to face this past Saturday, April 15th, Christina Leonardo. And just as everything seemed a go, Leonardo was pulled from the event due to having some type of failing to meet the requirements by the BBB of C, and it has something to do with her eyes, something neurological, something like that. It was never really given a full explanation in the late hours of the day of the weigh-in, which was Friday, April 14th. But as Michaela Mayer has stated, she didn't want to go through having that full training camp and everything and miss a fight day. So she looked and sought for them to come up with something. And they were able to find a fighter for her. In stepped Lucy Wildheart. Now, many people might not know who Lucy is, but she's fighting out of the UK, and she decided to take this fight as a last-minute opportunity, hailing from Sweden, but fighting out of the UK. Wildheart came into this fight looking for every bit of an opportunity against a former champion, even though she hadn't fought at that level yet. Kudos to her. So a fight was made. And as this fight was made, it was presented under something that was usually something we don't see in boxing. Someone willing to take a very last minute notice at an opportunity to be great, to dare to be great. And I'll tell you something, even though Wildheart was not able to win the decision against Michaela, whose record now is 18-1 with 5 KOs. Wildheart, she actually represented herself commendably. And she entered the bout originally with a record of 10-1 with 4 KOs. She's now 10-2. But experience is invaluable. And that's exactly what she gained in this 10-round fight against Michaela Mayer. This fight was opened up as a boxing match, going in, a former champion looking to take on someone who just was not at her level. But let me tell you something about the performance of Wildheart. She hung in there. She battled Michaela, and Michaela had to actually use her skill set. Her jab was on point. She sought to pick her shots early on, and one of the things that she did early in this fight was she threw more combinations. And that's something that she needed to do toward the end of her fight against Baumgartner. But as she moved around the ring, you could see that Michaela was trying to actually work on some things as well as take care of her business against Wildheart. And after the first couple of rounds, Wildheart settled into the fight and began to fight back on her own accord. Another admirable quality that she brought to the fight, because she didn't go in there looking just to be the opponent. She went in there looking for the opportunity to best Michaela Mayer. But she just didn't have the experience that was warranted to deal with Mayer. And Mayer was able to score shots very cleanly. But this was not without any difficulty, because there were moments when Wildheart was able to score as well. I saw abrasions on Michaela's face and nose where you could tell that Lucy was landing her pound of flesh as well in this fight. It took me back to wonder a bit about the opportunity that she was originally looking for against the likes of Lenarditu. Now, had this been Lenarditu, who basically has similar dimensions as Wildheart, I believe Lenarditu, who has a split decision victory over Alicia Baumgartner herself, that fight with Lenarditu and Mayer would have made for a more far interesting bout, because Christina is a good fighter. She has very good combinations. She's an upright fighter with upper body movement, and she presses the action. Even her bout against Katie Taylor, which Taylor was able to edge out a decision over her, she felt like she had done enough against Taylor to be victorious. So in this fight against Mayer, she was looking to prove a point and come back strong. I believe it could have happened, but it was not to be. And instead, we got a chance to see Michaela in there against Wildheart. Now, as you can even see from this image here, Michaela did take some shots herself. Her head movement, upper body movement, was pretty much non-existent. Her head was straight on center line, and I could see where if she's interested in facing Alicia Baumgartner again, Baumgartner is going to take advantage of that. If Michaela doesn't add upper body movement, she's going to have some difficulties going forward. Fighters like Katie Taylor will take advantage of that as well. She's 32 years of age, so she's still in her prime. And at 5'9", she's going to be taller than quite a few of her opponents that she faces in this weight class. But I'm going to say, the lightweight division has some very good fighters there. And And Katie Taylor, being the undisputed champion, is someone who is going to take advantage of any of your shortcomings. And Katie knows how to be rough and rugged in there as well at the same time. So Michaela's going to have to get on her P's and Q's. She's going to have to get better. Will she be able to do that? It remains to be seen. The combinations that she was able to land on Wildheart may not necessarily be there against the likes of Taylor. But she is now in that position to challenge Katie Taylor as a mandatory when Katie finishes up her work that she has coming up this summer. Michaela has to listen to Coach Al Mitchell. Al Mitchell may have to bring someone else in there to help remind her of her defensive lapses, because if she doesn't straighten that out, she's going to run into some problems. Just being a tough fighter is not the answer. You're going to have to work through your problems. In boxing, one mistake could lead to a one-punch situation that puts you in dire straits. And I'm sure Michaela understands this, and I hope that she goes back and watches the tape of this, because this fight was a little bit tougher than it should have been for someone who was such a late replacement. It's obvious that Wildheart was in shape for this fight, and it's very admirable that she took the fight on such a short notice. But you have to say Michaela should have done a little bit better, seeing as who her original opponent was, and she just wasn't able to get rid of Lucy Wildheart, and she wasn't able to put great distance between them. Yes, she won a decision, but it wasn't without some problems there that need to be addressed before she goes back in there at world class. And that's not a slight at Wildheart, because I believe that if Lucy Wildheart would have known and had a full camp to prepare for Michaela Mayer, this fight could have even been even more different, because she was able to hold her own. Though I had, just like the judges, I had Mayer winning unanimously, I could give Wildheart a round or two out of this fight, but I basically had Mayer winning, running away. She's going to have to get better, especially if she's going to face the champion. But I'll tell you something, women's boxing is still very good right now. And if you're missing these fights between these women fighters, you need to tune in, because you're seeing class versus class, and the class of boxing itself when you see the skill sets that these people enter the ring with and display. But I'm here to tell you, I'm a fan, I'm a supporter, and I like seeing what I'm seeing from these fighters out here. Kudos to Michaela Mayer, wishing her well on her endeavors. Can't wait to see a showdown with she and Katie Taylor, or if the chance comes about and she has an opportunity at a rematch with Alicia Baumgardner, can't wait to see that. But she's going to have to shore up some of her shortcomings, otherwise she may find herself on the losing end again. But what do you think? This is Stormy B-Man. Shout out to the mighty LDBC and Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let me know what you think of Michaela Mayer's performance in this fight, and if you're ready to see her take on Katie Taylor next. Peace to everyone out there, and everyone please remain safe.